Woo! Yes! Welcome to the Purple Positivity Podcast for April what is today? The 9th, 2018. I am your host, the amazingly adorable Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my kitchen/dining room table in my apartment, which I call Jeffrey Thistlework. Hooray! So, if you listen to this show regularly, first of all, I'm sorry, but I never promise anything professional. There are 3 things that I promise everyone in my life, and that is that I will be amazingly adorable, awesomely awkward, and ridiculously random. Nowhere in there is there anything about a professional, well-recorded and well-edited podcast. There is nothing in there about being fun or adventurous. I am amazingly adorable, awesomely awkward, ridiculously random. Are we clear? All right, good. I felt like I had to start this show with that because I went out with some friends. I've been friends with them for about almost 12 years now. And one of them was saying, you don't like action movies and you don't like spicy food? You're no fun. I said, when did I say I was fun? I mean, come on. We've been friends over a decade, and why are you surprised by this? Or why are you acting surprised? And she's like, I'm not. Which she wasn't. I think she was just wanting to point that out because she likes to hear my rant. So, anyways, what I wanted to talk about on today's show is actually, the Iron Druid Chronicles, except it's not. Wait, what, Becca? Hang with me, all right? Ridiculously random, I promised. So, the 9th Iron Druid novel, I hesitate to say the last because of how it ended, but, you know, technically that storyline is over. So, the 9th Iron Druid novel came out on Tuesday of last week, and me being the hashtag Iron Druid maiden that I am, I have it. And I just finished it on Friday or Saturday, and there was something that Atticus said, the main character, Atticus O'Sullivan, or as he was born, Sheahan O'Sullivan. He said something towards the end of the book that really, it hit hard with me, and it's been percolating in my brain ever since I heard it. He said, we seldom recognize where the chapters of our lives begin and end until we are gifted the benediction of hindsight. And so I started, thinking about that, because in this book, no spoilers. No spoilers, or I'm trying not to spoil anything. I'm sorry if I do. But the way that this book ends is very, very bittersweet. And on some level, Atticus can recognize that at some point in the future, he will look back on all of this and go, I'm glad it happened that way. It wasn't fun in the moment, but it had to go down like that for whatever insane reason. And so, so that's something that I've been trying to tell myself for months now. I've talked about this situation that I have going with Child Protective Services and my son, and I am just, I'm in the midst of this, and I'm going, I don't understand why all this is going on. But I also know that at some point in the future, I'm going to look back on this and go, oh, I get it. And then something happened yesterday, and I can't really tell the details of it, but I was talking with someone, and he had a moment of epiphany where he got gifted some small benediction of hindsight, and it was a powerful thing to bear witness to. You know, I posted on Facebook about how it's really awesome to have these moments for yourself where you go, oh wow, look how far I've come, and you know, and to feel proud, if a little guilty and regretful, but mostly proud, and you know, and but it's something else to witness it with somebody else, and you know, and knowing their story and knowing what this moment means. It's so powerful. Like, I started crying, and he goes, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm trying not to. Leave me alone. But you know, so that's been sitting in the back of my mind. Well, I mean, this idea of the benediction of hindsight. That's such a poetic way of putting it. Thank you, Kevin Hearn. By the way, that's who wrote the Iron Druid Chronicles, if you hadn't guessed or didn't already know. And so, you know, it's hard in the moment to appreciate the gravity of your situation, like the awesomeness of your struggles. And I don't mean awesome in the original, you know, like, oh wow, like how horrible or how awe-inspiring was that moment, but you know, it's just how great it is, how wonderful it is to get to have these struggles. And I mean, you can look back, and I often do, and I go, oh my God, how stupid was I for not knowing this, or not doing this, or not making this decision, or not thinking this in the moment. How stupid was I to not see all that. And that's, I guess, the other side of the benediction of hindsight. It's kind of the curse of hindsight. But sometimes, you know, I think you have to be grateful for the pain, for the struggles, for the darkness. I think my phone just buzzed. That's fun. But it, you know, and in the midst of them, it's hard to be grateful for it. It really is. And one of Dave Chappelle's stand-up specials on Netflix right now, I think it's Equanimity. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Really good. Anyways, he talks about this idea of standing too close to the elephant, which is to say that when you stand too close to an elephant, you can't appreciate the magnificent beast it really is. Ooh. We've had some really weird weather around here the past few days. Like, it was fucking freezing on Saturday, and then it got back up into the 70s yesterday, and my allergies are going, oh no thank you. Anyways, so standing too close to the elephant. When you stand too close to an elephant, all you can see is this ultimately minute part of the whole, and so you can't appreciate the whole until you step away far enough, and you go, oh yes, look at that creature. And I don't remember where I heard this, but and I can't even remember how it was worded, but it was something to the effect of, if you took 3 totally blind people who did not know what an elephant looked like at all, and you took them to be up close to an elephant, let them, you know, touch the elephant, and you let one touch its tail, one touch its leg, and one touch its nose, they would each say, oh, an elephant is like a snake, or it's like a tree, or it's like a rope. I don't know. Depending on which part they were holding. And the fact of the matter is an elephant is like all of those things, but not one single thing defines it, which that would have been a really great thing for that other show I did about being an introverted exhibitionist. Anyways, but the point is, you know, when you're able to have the opportunity to look back and step away from this huge thing in front of you, you can appreciate just how amazing it actually is. So, and that's the benediction of hindsight. And, you know, the trick is to get yourself to that point. You know, this is not the thing that I've had to tell myself on a regular basis since the end of October, is this is not where your story ends, Becca. You're still working on your story. This is just one part of the story. This is not where it ends. And that's terrifying on one hand, to know that you have that power to change the story, like in Super Y. Yeah, you can tell I'm a mom, right? But you know, that feels really great. Yay, I have the power to change my story. But at the same time, it's terrifying. I have the power to change my story. Oh my God. And it's overwhelming. So, but it's not always easy. Sometimes, you know, you just go, I can't tell you how many days over the past 5.5 months that I just got up, went to work, did my job, came home, binge watched whatever on Netflix or went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and then went back to bed and did the same thing the next day. And just, I didn't feel anything. I couldn't feel anything. I didn't want to feel anything. I was so numb. There's so much, I can't tell you what happened in most of November, because most of November was just surviving. And sometimes that's what you gotta do, is just survive until such a time that you can find a reason to thrive. And the thing about you know, early on with this situation with CPS, early on, like literally the day after I sent my son to go stay with my parents was the day that I started